of August 2022. I just want to show you that sky this morning. Got my little sweetheart. Come on, baby. Hi, precious girl. Yeah. She's my pretty baby, this one. It probably was a little bit nicer, but I had to run back in to get the camera. There's old Rocky. Old Rocky, he barks. He was barking all night last night. Dog like that, I would want to keep him inside. Short-haired, and they're just big, lovable pups. You do got to watch on their chewing, though. I've seen a lot of Dobermans, they'll chew the shit out of everything if you don't spend a lot of time with them. But there's the clouds over the mountain. Look at that. Look at that. That's kind of pretty. The neighbor's got his bamboo growing up off the top of his house. Look at that, over the mountain. It's really a cool morning this morning. I was debating on whether, when I went back in, to get a jacket or not. Seen old Olivia Newton-John passed away, 73 years old. That's a bummer. Seems like a lot of stars are disappearing lately, maybe just because they're promoting it more. They have a thing on the YouTube that'll say which stars had passed away, and there was a few of them I didn't realize. So I guess they didn't really put out as much news, because we don't get that much here anyway. You know, the local news here, most of it's in Tagalog, and that's the one my wife watches. But they're doing some weird stuff here. You know, one of the things is they want to make, if you got a motorcycle, this is the bill that's up. If you got a motorcycle, they want you to be in a club. You know, well, it seems to me they really want to pick on the poor people. And in that bill too is a thing where there'll be no lane splitting. I know with all this convent stuff that went on, everybody's hurting for money. So, you know, they're going to get it. Then they're doing all kinds of things with the lanes. They got these cameras out now. I guess it's up around Manila, where you're going to get a ticket, a non-contact ticket. And, you know, they're painting lines so that you can get screwed up and go the wrong way. You know, it just seems like that's what's happening. At least that's what I'm seeing on the Facebook channel. You know, people are pinpointing these things where these tickets are given out. I know in the States, when they had the cameras, those weren't government agencies. I think this is LTO that's doing this, but in the States it was not a government agency, and different times I got them, I threw them in the garbage. And they send you letters threatening you and all that, but it's a private company. They can't do squat. And I knew people who paid them, you know, if you pay this, you won't get points on your license. Well, they can't put points on your license. You know, if there's supposedly a crime, there has to be a witness, somebody pointing, not just a camera. But I just threw them away. I had a few of them. Never had them before I went to California. But they had one set up by us that it was a no right on red. And way over on the other side of the road was a little tiny sign, no right on red, and then had hours, and you couldn't see it. I didn't see it. And of course it started flashing, and they send you a real good picture of yourself, you know, real clear. And I threw it in the garbage. What are they going to do? But here I don't know if it's going to work the same way. But they're just going after this stuff. To me, this thing about having to join a motorcycle club if you have a motorcycle in this country, I wonder if that's even in their constitution, if you're allowed to do that. You know, how can you make somebody do something like that? You know, and like I say, it ain't going to affect a lot of people, just poor people having to join a club, unless a bunch of people get together and just start their own club, make a little, just each one print their own little handwritten card. I'm a member of the, you know, Bongs Riding Club. You know, I don't know how that's going to work, but it just seems, sometimes, I don't care what country you're in, you know, sometimes these people who are pushing, you know, to write these new laws, why don't they just take a chill pill and back off? I mean, it just seems really ridiculous to me. And most of the time when I ride, I don't want to ride with a group anyway. You know, if there's a motorcycle club, I don't want to be in a group of riders. You know, I've been on some group rides, and you always get some jerk in there who's being completely unsafe. I've been on rides already where I turned around and left. I went, what happened to you? No, I'm not riding with that guy no more. And then every time they would ride, they'd say, oh, you want to come? Is that guy going? Yeah, nope. And every time he'd fall down, he'd have an accident or something, or cause one. And it was like, why? What do you keep riding? Well, it's my sister's boy, you know, he's got to come along. Well, I'm out. I'm not going. He came past me one time. He shot past me, just missed my handlebar and cut right in front of me at high speed. You know, you fall down, we'd have really been hurt. And 3 times I heard of, he was in a pretty bad accident. So, you know, I'm not into that kind of stuff anyway. Well, look at this beautiful morning we're having, guys. I love these trees, by the way. Be a great tree to hunt deer out of right there with the bow. Look at that. Glorious morning. Glorious morning. We got the Tricycle Man sent me a text this morning that you know, he's wondering when I'm going to bring the bike down, and so I'm going back and forth with him. I'm trying to ask him how. He hasn't answered yet. I'm going to ask him how many days once he has the bike is it going to be completed. I want to find that out, and then you know, I'll probably go down. My wife and I'll go down early next week, Tuesday. Tropical Tim's coming. He'll be here Friday afternoon, and he's going to stay till Monday morning. We'll take him back up to the depot so he can get back up to where he has to be, and then we'll scoot. We'll jump on the bike and scoot, and I hope it's not too long that he has it to put it on. He seems to be moving along. I'll put the pictures in there of what he's got going so far, and you know, it's just pretty cool. It's getting done. It looks pretty good, and it looks pretty heavy duty to me, that's for sure. And I do have the 51-2 sprocket on the back of the bike, which is really gonna help with hauling that load around. Plus, it's got a 14 front sprocket. I have a 13. I have a 13-2 sprocket for the front, which you know, that like drops it down 2 teeth in the back. And if need be, I may not need it. And then we'll have that, and I'm going to put a nice little toolbox on it with all the stuff I need just for that bike. You can get ammo boxes here for about $12 to $15, 50 caliber ammo boxes. They make really good toolboxes, and what you do is you just drill a hole through the front, and you can put a little bolt lock, a small one, just to keep the honest people honest. And then I'll bolt it somewhere on the trike, or on the footrest for the trike. You know, there's the footrest on the right hand side. It'll be between the trike and the bike, and I'll bolt something in there, get some U-bolts, and fix that all up like that, because I'm gonna want a toolbox anyway. And I was looking online. You know, I'm looking at getting a post hole digger. I got to find out if Lazada's going to ship to that area. Maybe go to the neighbors, but I'll price a post hole digger at the hardware stores. It's just finding them down there. You know, you have to run them to a bunch of them, and but Lazada's got them for about $20, and they got cheaper ones, but you know, you can see they're real thin, and the weight on them is real light. And post hole digger, that's one thing, you need a real good one. I saw some nice ones with metal handles, and out here in this stuff. But I never had problems with a lot of my post hole diggers or any outside tools. I used to paint them with used motor oil. Always wore gloves when I used them, and they always held up pretty good. But the metal handle one's good. I had one a buddy gave me from Sears with a fiberglass handle, big orange fiberglass handle, and that thing, I couldn't believe it was guaranteed for life. It was a Craftsman, and it broke. So I went in and they gave me new handle. They must have gave me 3 or 4 sets of handles, and they just kept breaking. And finally, I got a piece of 3/4 in there, and I JB welded it up inside, and then I re-drilled the holes, and then it never busted again. It's just the fiberglass going in with the 2 bolts holding it in. It couldn't take the, and I was doing a fence line, so I was using it. I had a buddy, he was doing a fence line, he wanted me to help him, and he had a real nice tractor with the auger in the back, and he was just popping them holes in. And the way we did those, we just set the post like there and dumped the dry Saccrete bags. Each one got a bag of Saccrete. He had a real thin one. We weren't using locust posts there. And then you just dump the Saccrete in, throw the dirt on top, because the groundwater turns it into concrete. And years later I saw that, and it's solid as a rock. You didn't have to mix the water or nothing. Just dump the bag in. So, but he was using painted metal posts. He was doing a 5-wire with a 2-wire zapper on it, you know, to keep his cows and sheep and all that in. But I hope we get it going. I don't know what kind of fence I'm going to put up there. Probably bamboo or something. I'm not sure. I don't think I'm going to block it all the way around. We're hoping that we can get some more land as we go down there. You know, we can make it a little bit bigger. But we'll be going down there again, and might have to pick up the guy, the fellow that's working there. Want to get him a rake, make it a little bit easier. He's going to keep it cleaned up. I definitely want to get these calamansies in the roadway out. One of the first things I want to do is so we can get trucks in there. I want to get the gravel, get those calamansies out, and get some gravel on that roadway. You know, trucks get in there and start making huge ruts. If I can get some gravel on there, that'll ease, you know, that'll keep that from happening. And they wanted to put poison on there to kill all that, and I don't want that. I just, you know, if you're going to clean it up, clean it up. You know, it'll grow back. I'm not going to worry about it, but I don't want any poison sprayed all over the ground. They seem to use that here, like in the rice fields and stuff. And you know, all the chemicals. I've seen these guys down there. Their fingernails were melting. They're out there spraying all this stuff, getting it all over their hands when they mix it. Fertilizer and pesticides and stuff. Morning. And I don't go for that. I don't go for that stuff at all. But I did gardening for years. It was all organic. I didn't never used any stuff. I knew guys that used Miracle Grow. Oh, look how big they're getting, Miracle Grow. I don't need that kind of miracle. Be a miracle you don't get cancer. So I never played with that. But I do always love the garden, and I'm going to be looking forward to getting back at it, collecting up the tools for it and all that. I used to have one of my favorite tools I had for my garden. I had a garden weasel. Loved that tool. And I was at a hardware store, and I found a real long pole. It was like a 8-foot pole. I actually cut it down. I actually cut about a foot of it off. And I had that on my garden weasel, and I could really get a long way in there because I had paths in between where I had my rows, and I could get in there and keep it out. I used to hit that every morning before I went to work. Used to do it in the dark with a flashlight and just run through that. Just sometimes walk behind it. It was a great tool. I really loved to have that. Morning.
Good morning.
Hey. But yeah, the boys are all getting ready to work this morning. They got their houses, getting their water over there. Morning. Hey. There's their house. Yeah, they got a lot of them. They're really doing something here. This one they got up there and fixed that gutter. This was the house where the gutter completely rotted off. They haven't painted the bottom yet, but well, they haven't painted any of it, but it completely rotted out. I didn't know they used steel for the gutters. You'd think that would be aluminum. But they use this galvanized stuff here. You know, I wonder how that's going to hold up in the attics. Time's going to tell. Time will definitely tell. But this is how they build them, guys. Kind of looks like something on the Addams Family right there. So, some more houses. Good morning. What you doing, baby? Huh? My little walking partner. We got to get her out every morning for her poo and pee walk. She's my good pup, guys. I just love this little dog right here. She's really good at walking with us. I like whenever the kids go somewhere, whether they're on their bikes or whatever, she goes with them. And she shepherds. She shepherds. When we had the other dog, she was shepherding. She goes and keeps the kids. She's real active with the kids. They like to tussle with her, and she likes to wrestle with me too. We just wound up. We had prayed. This is no kidding, guys. We prayed for a good dog, and our prayers were answered with this little girl. The thing that really gets me, we used a different vet. We were supposed to get one more set of shots for this dog, and then we're going to be done. This vet said, no, you need another one, and I'm, oh no, that's enough. And they'll just keep hitting you, 650 this last time, and they wanted to give the dog a COVID shot. I kid you not. They have them at this vet here, and then then you come back in 2 weeks and get the booster. I mean, this is how far-fetched and goofy this crap is, guys. I mean, that's just absolutely goofy to me. I guess there's a big, billions of dogs in the world are croaking a COVID, I guess. it just gets me, guys. But we're back at the ranch. We got this all cleared up yesterday. My wife moved that rack. It was too hard to move in the back, so she moved our little cooking table. That's actually a cooking table out here. I wanted her to throw those hubcaps out. They're all messed up, but nah, she wants to hang on to all that kind of crap. I don't like that. But it's hard to get the motorcycle out now because this is always here. I'm thinking of putting some poles up here so we can have that up higher so I can have access to the gate without all this. There's the man cave. Yeah, it's a man cave, all right. no such thing anymore. But it's fixed up. At least I got access to my tools and our generator. That generator's it's a dandy. I'm gonna fire it up and run the pressure washer and the compressor, stuff like that, and just let her run a little bit. I put stable in there, guys. When you got a generator, if you're gonna have one here, make sure you get a thing of stable. You can get it at Lazada. They have a big one. It's like $6. And for the generator, or even probably won't use it on the bike, but for the generator, that'll last you forever. It only takes a cap full in there, fill the tank. That's what I did, and that gas is going to be set for the long haul. You have to use it, guys. If you don't, you trust me, you'll wind up in a world of hurt. When you need your generator, it's going to be sputting and spitting and not working properly because the gas will get like a varnish in there. And I used it on a lot of my vehicles. I had a antique vehicle that I didn't drive too often, and I used stable in that. And plus I had cars. When you live up in the Northeast, everybody goes out and buys it used to be a few $100 winter beater. You get the dang thing in September or October, and you make sure it's a good running car. And then, you put your good car in the garage and don't drive it. You drive it in the salt and cinders. It used to be, when I was young, it was just the salt, and that would kick the wax off the frame a little bit, but then they started adding cinders from the coal plants, and that just completely, almost like sandblasts your metal, and that's why the cars just rot. They just completely rot there. So you don't want to take your good car. I don't care what you do to them. You can get the dang undercoating, and you can get the, I forget the name of that. Rusty Jones was one, and you guys know the companies. They drill holes in your door and spray it and all this stuff, but it doesn't matter. They're still going to rust. God didn't make it, so it's not going to last. So that's just the way that works. But you guys all take care of yourself. I'm going to let you go. We lost our beautiful Skylar, but still looks pretty cool though. I don't know what kind of weather we're going to get. We're in a low, guys. We're still in a low pressure cell, so here it could be like this, and in 15 minutes it could be pouring on us. That's how fast it comes. But right now I'm not seeing anything over the mountain. All our rain comes from that mountain. sometimes it'll go around this mountain and it'll hit where Wes is, and he sent me videos while we were talking, and it's just completely pouring, and we're like this, nothing. You know, he seems to get more rain over in his area, and no, that's kind of cool. But this is about it. They're going to put this one up soon. I hope they get one over on this other side, so that way we can, as soon as they get this house up over here, that's when I want to get I want to get some kind of permanent awning up for the man cave. And I was even thinking of taking these gates off. One thing I don't like about here, and it's on every house here, they got these gates are real long, so when you open them, they're actually out in the street. They come out about this far, which is not good. You know, that one doesn't, it's okay, but these ones do. I might do a bifold, but I also want to make them vertical and bring them up higher. And that way that'll be closed off. And I'll do the same with a real pretty rack over here and over on the other side, just to keep the folks out. I'm thinking of raising this up, you know, raising this up for a front. I wouldn't even mind having a garage door, guys. I had a buddy that didn't want to lose the light, and he bought a garage door, and he took the aluminum panels out and he put plexiglass in there. And it was pretty cool. It worked out really good. And that way he kept all his light, and he still had a garage door to keep people out. That's cool with me. But I'm gonna let you go, guys. And this is Rickshaw out.